Good morning, guys and girls. This is Maja broadcasting from the UK. I've just been outside, that's why my glasses are dark. I've given the birds some seed, yeah, whatever, you know what I mean. I have a bit of a sore throat, as you can hear. I think that's part of this year, for some reason, I've got some hay fever and it always affects my throat. So I'm going to be a little bit more quiet and a little bit more subdued, but that doesn't mean that I haven't got something to show. And today I'm going to show you, I'm going to restart my water kefir grains from 2016. So let me show you, because I'm going to take you through this through the rehydrating and through the startup, because they won't immediately function, and I'm hoping actually that they will function, that it might take a little longer than usual. I'm thinking, let's cross my fingers that I did it right, because I can't remember. I dehydrated them in 2016 and since then they've been in the cupboard. So let's see if this works. So this might be an epic fail. Let's have a look. Okay, here we go. I'm in the kitchen, as you can expect, and here's one of the jars of water kefir. There you see, on the 3rd of July 2016 is when I dehydrated those. In here I have prepared water. This is water. And I didn't measure it, I just filled it right up, but I did measure the dark, I think actually it was demerara sugar. I have a quarter of a cup in here, quarter of a cup of demerara sugar, and literally a pinch of bicarb in here for the mineral content to wake them up better. So, and here, just in case you're asking, I have these are not water kefir ones, but these are the water kefir ones, and you can hardly see a difference between the two. This is for milk and this is for water kefir. That's why, I don't know why I didn't put a label on these, but I know that these are the milk ones. So I will restart those most probably as well, but not today. I just wanted to show you that. The restarting of water kefir is normally a lot easier than restarting the milk ones. The milk ones will take at least a week, but all you need is everyday new milk, whole milk best. And for the water kefir, you basically restart them every 2 days, as in you rehydrate them in this solution of a quarter of a cup of sugar, the best sugar you can get. I prefer, lots of people use the cane sugar, I've used the demerara sugar. It could have also been muscovado sugar, I'm not quite sure, but it's really the darkest one I had in the cupboard. So let's get this going then. So I need to just pause you for a second, and then I have to just quickly balance the camera. So here we go. So I've just set you up at a different angle. Yes, and the mess behind all of this camera stuff is not really a mess. It's organized stuff. In case you can see the egg cartons. The egg cartons are all seeds and the dog food. And behind that is the food for the mealworm farm and so on. So let's just get down to this. So you will need a cloth of some sort. You'll need a rubber band. And you'll need your water kefir grains, and after 48 hours you will need a fermentation bottle. Best if you have one with a release. If not, you're going to then take a bottle that you can, a normal bottle, not fill it as high, and then release the cap every 12 hours. So let me just take a little spoon. Right, I have here a measuring spoon, and on this side is half a teaspoon, and this is a full teaspoon. I think it says half a teaspoon. Yes, and this is a tablespoon, sorry. So let's see. You don't need a lot. Now I'm wondering, I want to set up quite a lot, but they also grow very fast. So I think I'll just set up a tablespoon, and then whatever rehydrates well, I will then keep going, and I will put in the fridge. So let's see. So as I said, what I did here was I put the water in. I actually boiled the water. Sorry, I didn't say that before. Very important. They don't like chlorine, so I boiled the water, put the sugar in, and let it cool down overnight, because I want all the chlorine out, and I want the least mineral content from the tap, if you like. So I made sure that that's all out. So I'm just putting this tablespoon in here. There we go. That's all there is to it. And then I'll give it a stir. Now with stirring, Kefir doesn't like stainless steel, so use wooden or plastic. I'm just going to use the spatula, the silicone spatula. Just give it a good stir, like that. And then cover it up with a cloth. It doesn't have to be dark, but don't put it into direct sunlight either. So I'm going to put it on the dark countertop. And if you're making kombucha or sourdough, don't stand it next to it, because it can contaminate. So don't do that either, but I'm not. So now all I'm going to do is take this, and I'm walking with you. I'll take this, here we go, over to my corner here. You see, I have loads of stuff here. That's where all my oils are and things. I'm just making a little bit of space. Right. So let me just show you, and this is my little corner. In here I've actually loads of corks that I will need later, because when I'm filling this up, once it's going properly and filling this up, then I'll need some of the corks for my bottles. So here we go. I'm just going to put that here to rest in this darkish corner. Actually, what I'll do is I'll turn so that the cloth turns like that, so it's covered for the best of time. And I will see you then tomorrow, and we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. But I'm not expecting much to happen, because I'm thinking it will take at least 48 hours, the first, what this will call the reviving batch. There'll be at least two more batches before it really gets going. So I'll see you then. That's the water kefir setup. See you later. Bye. Okay, I'm going to be setting also up a ginger bug. So I'll be needing two or one of these really. And these have been cleaned and standing actually in the garage for a while. So they're obviously dirty. So I will just clean those up, because that is also important no matter what you use for your kefir, whether it's milk or water, and or for your ginger bug or beer, then you will need vessels that need cleaning. So yes, of course you can do it with sterilization liquid, but I'm just going to be using normal dishwashing liquid. Do the outside first. Let me just see what you can see, because I'm not sure what you can see. There we go. Okay, so just box standard normal dishwashing liquid. using my scrubber. You see, this was after one big clean. That's the downside of these, as I was talking the other day. Just give that a good scrub on the outside. And in the background you can hear the kettle boiling, because that will be used for the inside. And I won't be using dishwashing liquid for the inside. That's why I've still got the stopper in. I don't want water necessary to go in with the dishwashing liquid. So, here we go. Just going to clean that off. Let's stand this to the side. This one I haven't looked for a stopper yet. This is how I stored it, but I'm going to do it the same. Outside first. Give it a good scrub. And I do this the same with the other bottles, whether they're the Kilda jars or the others, where I set stuff up. I do it exactly the same way. Set this aside. Let's just give it a little dry so I can touch it. It doesn't slip out of my hands. Throw this old tissue away. Well, I won't throw it away. I'll put it to the side because I'll use most probably cleaning up something on the floor, and then throw it away. Always reuse what you can. So this one's ready for the inside sterilization. Let's get this one all cleaned up. This one has got a stopper already ready. I'll go to the side. So now I'm taking bicarb. This says baking soda, baking powder, so but there's bicarb in here. So I'm going to take some of that. Let's get a teaspoon. This might be a little bit messy, so I'm just taking a teaspoon. Right, let me just up a bit so you can see what I'm doing. So what I do is I just actually, because I'm not going to use a funnel, I'm just going to use my fingers for this. I'm going to fill that teaspoon in. And in this one here as well, the same thing, same deal. Use my fingers. So, let me see, I can bring it into view. Let's do it the other way around. So, use my fingers just so it doesn't fall out the sides. Just put that teaspoon in. Right. Now in here I have, oh no, this is, no, it's not vinegar, it's also bicarb. So right, and I'm going to take my trusty 4.5%, that's normal strength vinegar. I'm just going to put a blob in there, a dash, so it foams up a bit. There we go. This one here too. Okay, it's maybe a bit more than just a dash. A good helping. Not measured. Not measured, and as you can see, it's foaming. I swirl that round. And here, this one This one's a bit, it's large, so I swirl this round. Get the sides. Like that. Best to do this a day or two before you're going to be using these. I've still got a bit of bicarb up the top, and then fill in some boiled hot water straight out the kettle. And this one, careful. There we go, a bit more in here. And best to use gloves for this if you're doing it like I am, because you will spill it otherwise over your fingers, as I just did. Let's get a bit more oomph in here. There we go. All right. So now on this one, I'm just going to pop the cork back on, and then take this and just shake it and swirl it well. Now take the cork out, because I don't want the cork touching the vinegar or the bicarb, and I'm just going to go up the neck a tiny little bit. Make sure you don't burn your fingers. This side. There we go. Right, swirl it once more. And then I'll use, and then pour it away. We'll do the sink good as well. Let that cool down a tiny bit. Do the same here. Oh. That's fine. In smaller bottles, of course, I don't use as much bicarb or vinegar, that's obvious. I go maybe with a 1/4 teaspoon. There we go. Right, last step is to let the glass cool down a tiny bit, and then fill it up with some cold water. Little bit by little bit, just to rinse that out. Rinse it out a couple of times, and then let it dry upside down. But I'm going to do this once more off camera. This is still a bit hot. So, and then just turn it upside down so that it can all be drained, and then dry out. See you in the next step. Bye. Okay, let me just, I stopped at the bottles, cleaning out the bottles. Here they are once more. They're still hot, but I noticed, let me just put this up, that this cork that was in here is really tight. Well, when things are fermenting, you don't want them really tight, because that can explode the bottle. So I'm going to exchange this cork for a different one. That's why I collect all the corks. And I think this was on, I don't know, it smells like a sherry or something. So that's what I'll be using. It fits, it covers the hole so that nothing can get into it, but there is enough room here so that I don't have to burp it. Yeah, so if the gas comes up, the fermentation, then it'll just go like that, and I don't have to worry about it. And the same applies to this bottle. I found one, yeah, champagne cork, and there's quite a tight fit when you go in at first, but as you see, there's still room. Once it's down, there's still room for it to burp. So these are the perfect fit. I just wanted to show you that. These are still a bit warm. So I'll swirl them out just a tiny bit later. There you go. So that's another step that you can think about. And if you haven't got corks, or if you have got bottles, I don't know, if you use, maybe you want to use a Kilner jar or something, or a normal, let me see, I know that's got a cork as well. If you use a normal bottle, a recycled bottle from something else that has a screw top or so, then I'd suggest what you do is you take some wax sheet paper, put that over the top with a rubber band, but put a little hole or two into it so that nothing can really get in. When I say put a hole into it, what I do is I turn, when you pierce the hole through, I'd put the piercing ends to show outward, right? So that's another protection. Then just use a rubber band, that's another way, but I recycle everything that I've got. So there you go. See you later. Hi guys, I forgot to show you, this is day 2. I set up the milk kefir granules yesterday, and you saw what they looked like. I can show you once again. Right, let me just move backwards and get them out the cupboard. So if you want to know, this is where I've stored them. Here are the water ones. I have 2 jars of water kefir ones. And this is where they've been since 2016. So this is what they looked like. And this is overnight. I forgot to put them in the fridge. So this is what they look like this morning. And this milk is actually still milk. It's perfectly good. It's not sour. So what I'll do is I'll use it for my tea this morning. And so I'm now going to I just strained them. And I'm putting them back into the jar and putting some fresh milk on top of that. That's all I'm going to be doing. This is day 2 also for the water kefir granules. Let's just have a look what's been happening here. Right, let's see. They're looking as if they're really plump. Can you see that? Really plump, day 2. Right, and let me just get something to stir with, because I don't want to use the spatula that I've just had in my, here we go. I'm going to use this plastic one. So here we go. Let's just give them a little stir. There we go. We see yesterday. So let's just have a quick try. Let's just have a quick try what this tastes like, how sweet. Still super sweet. So there's plenty enough sugar in there for these little bit of granules. So I'll leave this, I won't change it. Just giving it a stir. I'll put the lid back on, the top back on. and leave it on the counter for another day. Today is actually a little bit cooler than yesterday, so that's why it'll take a little longer anyway. So the cooler it gets, the slower they'll work. So I'll catch up with you then tomorrow. Good morning. So today is day 3 of the kefirs, and let's just have a look. So I'm going to turn the camera around again and point them down. Oops. Find the right angle here. Okay, here we go. Let's go like that. There you go. Okay, so this is the water kefir, and as it's been a lot cooler than I expected, I don't think it has done much, but let's just have a look. Okay, let's have a look at the grains. And for that I'm just getting my spoon. Just let's have a look how they are doing. Okay. Oh, I should have had. Okay, here we go. Here are the grains. They're looking healthy. They're looking very healthy. Let's put them in my hand. They're still a tiny bit hard. Obviously I've washed my hands, so it doesn't contaminate. There. Here are the grains. Let's have a feel. Some of them are hard, some of them are getting there. I have a few small ones in there. I think they're doing okay. So what we'll do is we'll put them back. Let's have a test of the water. Let's rinse my hand off. Right, let's have a see how sweet this is. It's still super sweet. However, what I think I'll do is I'll give them a stir. I mean, the bottle is quite big for this amount of grains. Oh, it looks like actually they're not doing too bad at all in there. Can you see? You can see down the bottom here. Let's get the camera further down. Can you see that here in the spoon? Let me see if I can zoom in on that. No. There. Can you see that? They're actually doing okay. So what I'm going to do next is then, in this case, I'll just give them a tablespoon of sugar. I mean, this is brown sugar, just soft brown. I think this is actually Demerara sugar, not Muscovado, because the Muscovado is often a lot darker than this. So even though it's quite sweet in there, I'll just give them a bit more to eat. As I said, it's quite cold today. So that's why they're not. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Look. Can you see what I can see? So I just needed to stir them up a little bit. Look, it's starting to bubble. So something is happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave them in peace. Leave them on the countertop for a few more days. I'm not in a rush. We fed them. 3rd day. Normally it starts on the 3rd day, but as I said, yesterday was cold and today is cold. So we'll just leave them be, put them back in the dark place. Just leave them be all warm. So Now let's get, so that's the sugar also done. As I said in the previous video, I actually prefer Muscovado sugar because that's unrefined sugar with a lot more molasses. So, oh, look at this. Can you see how thick this is? Let me get my spatula. So, milk kefir grains are a lot more picky than water kefir. Water kefir is another great alternative for kombucha. I've got a Scooby and I must tell you, it wasn't great. My experience with it wasn't great. I didn't really like the product that much, and keeping it fed and all of that was just a bit of a nightmare. So I prefer the water kefir. It's not quite so let's say tangy. Has the same fizz. You can make the same kind of fizz and stuff like that. It has probiotics as well. So I prefer the water kefir. Now back to the milk kefir. The milk kefir grains are quite fussy. Let's have a look. It's actually produced already yogurt. So now I'm in a bit of a pickle because I wasn't expecting that. So let me pause you for a second. Now I've got to get a different strainer and get some other things. Hang on a minute. Okay, here we go. So that means the process has already started with the milk kefir grains. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pour them here into the strainer. I'm going to get the yogurt out. Okay, and this is what I do. I take milk and I will sieve this through. As much as I can. I'm turning it on the side. Here. Let me see if I can get your... Let's get the camera a bit closer so that you can see better what's going on. There we go. Let's get that a bit elevated. So look at these. Okay, here we go. Super healthy. Day 3. Obviously the water kefir is a bit much in there for the amount, but they grow super fast as well. So here we go. So there's nothing, it hasn't really built up the thickness of super thick kefir where it then spreads, separates into whey and cheese. So for this reason, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take a bit of milk and I'm going to rinse these with the milk. So I want all the goodness in there. There we go. So just rinse them. And I need to rinse this out as well because they're already way too much for this little jar. I've still got a few tiny ones in there. You can't see them. Let's see if I can get them out. I wasn't expecting that to happen. I was expecting the water kefir to start to ferment a lot quicker than the milk kefir. So this was a surprise today. There we go. Let's rinse that through again. So I don't want to waste all the goodness. There we go. So that'll go into wash. And so now I'm changing into the Kilner jar here, and this has a burping lid. So I will fill this up now properly. However, I'm going to reuse this milk here. So let me see. Let's get my another spoon out. Let's put those back in. We'll put those into the jar. So we've inspected, one's fallen to the ground. Doesn't matter. We'll feed that to the dogs. They'll like it. Healthy probiotics for them too. So what this does is gives them oxygen. It gives them an activation. Stir them up, and they're already reproducing here, little babies. Some of these are quite small. Let's get the last ones into the jar. That one's going through. The other side of the strainer. There we go. I've got here another one. Got the teeny ones. You've got to try get the teeny ones. Right, and because I'm in a bit of a calamity today, my milk order hasn't arrived yet. Let's put this back, put you a bit further down. My milk order hasn't arrived yet, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reuse this, stir this up. Pour this back into here. And because I rinsed it with the milk, there's teeny weeny babies in here, so we'll just top it up. There we go. So now you can see the grains are going up to here. And that's good. Now I'm going to put the fermentation lid on. I can screw this on tight because of the fermentation lid at the top. So if there's any fermentation, it will escape through here and nothing will be harmed. If you do it like this, this is an no air fermentation, anaerobic fermentation. The whole lot will become a lot sweeter. So I just wanted to get the grains started off, and they're already working now. So I don't need this anymore. I'd like to have a sweet kefir. I don't want it too tangy. So I'll stick this on the side for today. As before, the only thing is I'm going to have the lid on. And see you tomorrow. See what it looks like tomorrow. By then my milk order has arrived. And then I can top this up right to the top. And then I can also stick it in the fridge for the next time being. I'll maybe leave it for 12 hours and then stick it in the fridge. And see if I turn it over in about 24. Once it's going properly, it will be a 12 to 24 hour turnaround. So even if I stick it in the fridge, because as I said, I don't want it too tangy. So that's it, that's the third day. So we've moved on with this one a lot quicker. See you soon. See you tomorrow. Bye. Good morning, guys and girls. It's day 4. Let's start off with the water kefir because that will be way easier. Here it is. Let's have a quick look how this is doing. I'll point the camera down. Hopefully it's not quite too wobbly. Oh. Look how the grains have grown. Look at that, they've grown. You can see that already. And we have some fermentation going. I am going to wait another day. There's some floating, so what I'll do now is I will just give this a good stir. Here we go. Let's just give this a good stir. Give them some oxygen. And this will be ready tomorrow. I am sure this will be ready tomorrow. Let's give them a bit of more. There we go. Right, let me just do the taste test. Let's do the taste test. I think I'll actually feed it once more too. So, because they have used up quite a bit. Here we go. Right, let's get the brown sugar out again. A tablespoon. And let's give them a good helping. So let's put this up. So here you go. It's a good helping. Actually, I think because there's quite so many in there, let's give them actually 2 tablespoons. Let's give them 2. Let's give them the best chance, and let's stir that again. As this Demerara, I think it's Demerara non-Muscovado, as this Demerara sugar has got lots of minerals, I don't need to add any, because that'll be well balanced in itself. So there you go, we'll leave it one more day, and tomorrow we'll go on to step 2, the secondary fermentation. So for today, let me just close this off. There we go. Let's put it back in its dark place. I had a little step there, just cleaned my spoon. Let's get onto the milk kefir. Yay! Can you see that? It has separated. That means it is well ready. So what we'll do is we'll take the lid off. And now we're going to have to separate this. But first I need a lid. Here we go, that's the lid, because we firstly need to shake this really well. So, because I don't want any of this goodness to go anywhere. So let's just give the way. Give this a good shake. There we go. Right, and now here, off we go. Oh, I made a mess. That's a bit slippery now. I'll just clean the outside off so I can actually hold this without it falling out of my hands. There we go. Right. So now let's pour it into the jug. Okay, can you see that, guys? Look at this. I'm just putting the bottle to the side. Can you see how healthy those look? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So, now let me just take the spoon. Get this. Right. Let's rinse them. And you know what I'm going to rinse that with is milk. Oops. I'm going to have to make some serious space in my fridge because all is going well. Oh dear. My milk top is squeezed. Okay, here we go. We got it. We got it. Here we go. Okay. Right. And now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this well. I'm rinsing all of this into the jug because I want all this goodness into the jug. Oh dear, I wasn't paying attention. There you go, I've spilt it already. It's all over the place. That's a good one, isn't it? Right, let me just put this aside. Okay, and let's put this into the fresh Kilner jar. For also its second fermentation. I will wipe that off. Let's just get a little bit more of this clean. Only a little bit because I haven't got that much space in that. There we go. So, and I think we can leave that. I know there's little bits of milk still in there, but that will be fine. Right, set this aside. Let's pour this into here. And let's get the yogurt going. So after having made such a colossal mess, all I'm going to do is put the lid onto this and stick it in the fridge. And, well, depending on your taste, between 4, 12 or 24 hours, this yogurt will be ready. It will keep fermenting in here because I have all the fermentation going, but as I put the milk on top, this is going to be a lot sweeter as it would be if you just leave it on the countertop. So let's stick that in the fridge. There you go. Those are the two. And today, let me see if I can get you see properly. Here we go. And today I'll be also starting a ginger bug that will take between 5 and 7 days. So I'll be starting that as well. See you in the next video with that. Oh no, what I'll do, I'm stupid me, I forgot. Of course, what we're going to do is now set up our next milk one, isn't it? So let's put the grains back. Where was I? Here we go. We're just going to put them back into the bottle here. There we go. Doesn't matter. The bottle is used. That will all help. There's just all healthy fermentation going on. Doesn't matter. It'll make it slightly more sour, but not. If you want to restart a fresh bottle, wash one out and do that, then you can do that. I don't. I've got tiny little baby grains in here. I'm trying to get them into the bottle because that's what will make your kefir grains healthy, and they'll keep growing, because eventually you'll be getting rid of the big ones. That's what's taking me a little while here, to get all the small ones in. There we go. So, and get this mess out the way. We're done with this as well. And just fill it up. Get the second one going. All the way up. Here's an SKP. Here we go. SKP. There we go. Right. And put this one back on. And wash this. So see you in the next one, where I'm going to be starting the ginger bug for the ginger beer.